Let me hit the record button here. Hi, this is Keith Weaver with the Top Executive Strategy Podcast, where CEOs, COOs, and business owners share strategies for better success. This is 6 questions in 9 minutes because the best strategies are concise business advice. And so we're going to be concise and get right to our guest today. And so in a few sentences, tell us who you are and what you do.
Hi, my name is Dave Snyder, and I am a CPA, MBA, EA. My MBA is in MIS, and you know what a CPA is, and an EA is an enrolled agent. It's like a CPA just for taxes. And so I do business valuations. I do audits, reviews, compilations. I fight the IRS, which is a terrible, terrible, terrible organization. And I do all kinds of taxes, including business, personal, trust, and estate taxes. And I really enjoy doing that. And it really helps the people, my clients, provide for their, help them.
That's awesome. I used to own, and I still do own medical businesses. And I used to always tell people that I worked with, you never want to be on the wrong side of Medicare or the IRS or the government, because, once you get on their radar, you don't get off. So
they're terrible.
Exactly. So, well, question number 2 then, what's the best thing about being a business leader?
Well, what I like to do is I like to help people, benefit them and bring relief to them. A lot of clients don't have, they come in and they're really all worried about a tax issue or something, and I bring relief to them. I say, they're not going to put you in jail. You did your taxes. They're not going to bring you thousands of dollars in interest unless you don't pay this within a certain amount of time. They're a terrible organization, but but I just want to bring them relief and also help them make the best of their business, and their personal taxes, as well as, whatever they're doing in life.
Well, and I like that idea of relief because it can be very stressful. So
yeah, it's stressful.
So question number 3, I hear from other business leaders that a lot of times in running their business, their people strategy is far more time consuming, difficult than the actual business strategy of running their business. Your thoughts on that?
Well, people are hard to read. They change their mind a lot. You have to figure out what they kind of want. So, strategies that you put in place for that depend on them. I mean, some clients, you have to persuade them to do an offer in compromise or persuade them to do a certain tax form or something like that because they think they're entitled to not to. But if, I try to get people to reduce their taxes to nothing, for example. But if they have to file something, they got to file something because otherwise they're going to be mad at me for not doing that.
Right.
Yeah, the people are hard to read. So, and they change their mind all the time, and they're kind of influenced by the wrong people. So that's why I help bring relief, because they might be influenced by somebody, and then they come to me, and I realize, and we fix their situation.
Very nice.
Path. That's what I really go for.
Well, good. All right. So question number 4, what strategy would you like to share with business leaders?
Well, in the tax game, in the business, in the tax game, it's really kind of dependent on the client. Certain clients want to make money on their taxes, for example, because they have to pay taxes so they can buy a house the next year or within a reasonable amount of time. So they have to show income. And then and some clients don't want to show any income and don't want to pay any taxes. And then there's the ones in between that know they're going to pay taxes, but you want to reduce it as much as possible. So it really is client dependent, what strategy you use in that situation. And basically you have to find out their goals and situation, and then you build on that. And so it's not really holistic or you're not able to really do one size fits all in terms of strategizing with clients. I mean, for example, if I'm doing a business valuation for a client, which I do, um, then and it's a seller, that business valuation needs to be as high as possible for them. With
Mhm.
reason, I'm not gonna, make it extraordinary when it doesn't deserve it, but it's got to be as high as possible for them. On the other side, the buyer, if you're on the buyer side, they want it as low as possible. So again, it's just what the client wants, and uh, and you help them based on that.
So I'm curious when you say, they have to understand their goals and you have to understand their goals. I'm curious, often do you come across where the business owner's not really clear on what their goals are and you have to kind of work with them and maybe tease that out of them?
I see that. The way I see that is that a lot of clients, a lot of business owners are good at what they do, but don't know anything about taxes, or don't know anything about business valuation, or don't really know what their goals in a particular situation are. So yes, you have to influence them. You have to work with them to make them understand what that is. Everybody has their own niche, right? My niche is to do taxes, business valuations, and so on. Their niche is to make money doing their business. So, and if they can do that and have employees and all that kind of stuff and make everybody happy in that situation, that's great. I'll take care of the accounting and the taxes and the business valuation and all that. And they do what they do. It's like we got a lot of doctors, and most of them don't understand accounting or taxes, but once a couple of them do. They're ask me questions that I'm like, oh, I got to research that. but 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 there is most of them do not. They're good at being a doctor. They're good at being a dentist, but they don't understand this. So this is what I do. This is how I bring value to them. And it's really exciting for me to really help clients and work on that and provide relief, as I said before, and really help the clients and reduce their taxes or meet their objectives.
Very nice. Well said. All right. So question number 5, what other successful business owners or CEOs like yourself would you like to maybe do a shout out to, or you think would be good on the podcast?
Well, I used to work at a lighting company that distributed lighting across the country, and I was a CFO. I was a controller, and then became the CFO. And what we did was we provided a great value for and that owner was really good. And I don't really want to bring up the name, but we did it. He gave me a lot of power and empowered me to do my job really well. And he understood my job too, because he had been in that same situation at times. But it really helped me grow as a business leader, as a CPA, as a controller, a CFO. I'm able to do that maybe in a an ad hoc thing. I can do professional controllership, for example. That's something I didn't write on there, but I can do that and really go into a company and help them become better in the accounting function as well as on the business side. We in our accounting function, we actually had a revenue line basically because we provided that kind of value. Um, so it really helps being a CFO, a CEO, or a controller or whatever to be able to help other people manage their business from that perspective.
Well, and it sounds like, helping the individual develop individually as well, really stretch
Yes.
themselves.
Yeah.
So, well, great. So before we leave, can you tell people maybe how they can get a hold of you or connect with you?
Well, yeah, my name is David A. Snyder CPA. I'm on 325 South Montezuma in Prescott, Arizona. And my number is 928 445 01 04 extension 9. And my email address is dsnyder141414 So that's pretty long, but and then my website is davidasnydercpa.com.
Awesome. Well, again, we appreciate your time and you taking the time to be on and give us some insights. And this is Keith Weaver with the Top Executive Strategy Podcast. And for more insights, you can follow us on LinkedIn at Weaver Business Coaching, and you can listen to us on your favorite podcast platform. And we wish you the best success.
Thank you. Thank you, Keith.